Welcome back to the Believe in Badger Football podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined today by special guest, class of 2023 member Justin Taylor. Justin, we really appreciate you taking a little bit of time here today.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. It's, Clint, our very good friend here on the show, talks about you all the time and about your energy. So it was really exciting for me to be able to reach out and connect with you. Before we get into our conversation here, I want to remind you guys that we are presented by betonline.ag, where they remain your number one source for all of your online sports wagering needs. You name it, they've got it over there at BetOnline. NBA, NFL, esports, golf, college football, that season's over, college basketball. It's there. Go on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, Justin, we will go ahead and get started with you. First of all, are you an Illinois native? Did you move around before you got up to the Chicagoland area? How did you, or sort of what is your background, your backstory here?
No, I haven't moved. I was born here, born and raised here. And yeah, I've always been, in the Chicagoland area. I've never moved out of state, never lived anywhere else. Honestly, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I love it here. I love where I grew up. I met a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of great people out live around here. So I've been here my whole life. And my parents have as well.
So obviously you've got a lot of family around there. That's fantastic. So it was one of the things that made you interested in Wisconsin, being so close to home and being able to keep those bonds with the family, just being 2 hours away?
Yeah, for sure. The distance part of it was definitely played a part. Not being too far away, but also having the distance to where you can come home whenever you like, especially on winter break or spring break, just spending time with the family. Family is a big thing for me. So, not being too close, but, also being close enough was a big part of why I committed.
Definitely. Well, let's go back a little bit, First of all, how old were you when you started playing football?
I was around 7 years old when I first started.
And what inspired you to start playing? Was it did you have family members who played, or how did you sort of get into the sport in the first place?
Honestly, I mainly started with basketball, and then after basketball, I was just like, it's a little too soft for me. So over time, I just kind of started watching football, been around football more, and at a young age, just watching football on the TV. One day I just told my dad I wanted to start playing, and he sent me out on my neighborhood team, and it just went from there.
And so, what was the moment for you then when you realized I love this game and I want to try to pursue this at the collegiate level, and I think I can pursue this at the collegiate level?
It clicked for me maybe in 7th grade. When I was that young, I was just playing for fun, but seeing being around the guys that's very talented, and seeing how far they went with it, and having older role models to see go far with playing football. I realized that, I want to really take this serious. That's when I really started training hard, really started lifting, really started, doing a lot of skill work and just perfecting my craft in 7th grade. And by the time I turned 13, that's when I really knew that I really loved the sport. Not only, because of, how much fun you have on the field, but the relationships that you build off of the field with guys and, building friends from there. So for me, really, when I was in 7th grade, that's when I really found out I loved the game.
So you mentioned role models. Who were those role models for you?
For me, just seeing Jaden Thompson, that was really one of the first ones. Not a lot of guys know of Jalen Bates. He was really good. He was really good coming out of high school. JJ McCarthy, of course, seeing Tyler, seeing guys, close to my age, not too far off. Really just succeed at a high level and play at a high level. It really helped me and motivated me, made me think I could do it as well. So that's what, those are the guys that, you kind of look at. AJ Henning too. You have Marcellus Moore. You got a lot of guys that, you just look and see locally, and you just want to, be like them.
Did you have any idols in the league when you were growing up?
No, not really. Honestly, growing up, I didn't watch a lot of the NFL. I watched a lot of, college football. There was a little sprinkles of NFL in there. But I watched a lot of college football because those were the guys that were closer to my age. They were, grown kids, they're not, grown men yet. When you get to the NFL, you're playing with guys that's almost 40, in their mid 30s, some in their, 20s, but it was mostly college football.
So then, in the college football, you said you've got all these guys from your area that so you can make it, sort of what the path is and what you have to do. Now, were you when you were growing up, were you always playing D back and receiver, which is sort of what you played at the high school level? Or did you move around a bunch?
I kind of did the same thing I'm doing now, just playing pretty much everything. I started mainly on offense, and then in Pop Warner, you could play offense, defense. You play pretty much anything in Pop Warner, and I don't know, that kind of translated to high school. Just playing, receiver, running back, and then the whole defensive back end. That kind of always stuck with me since I was a kid.
Do you have a favorite position to play on the field?
Um, Not really. It really depends on who you're playing against.
Okay.
That's what I say. When you're playing against a great defense, of course you want to play offense. I'm always up for a challenge. When you're playing against a great offense, you want to play defense. I'm kind of the guy that wants to stop everything. I don't really want to go with the tide of everything. I want to go against it. For me, specifically this year, I had a lot of fun playing defense.
Okay.
A lot of fun playing offense. But, I tell coaches all the time, put me where you need me. I'm just going to play football.
So what do you think your best trait on the field is? Like if you were scouting yourself, what is Justin Taylor's best trait outside of versatility? Outside of obviously like your versatility is what everyone talks about it. Coach Fickle's talked about it. Like what do you think is your best trait?
My best trait is probably my intelligence.
Okay.
When you're intelligent and you have a high IQ, it's kind of hard to, play against guys like that. They're always faster, naturally faster than you. They're never thinking. They're always just flying to the ball, getting to the ball. And those are the guys you got to look out for. For me, a lot I symbolize to is Ed Reed. He was very smart, very intelligent. He knew where the ball was going. He knew what the offense was trying to do. I just try to model, my mental traits after him and really just understand and diagnose, what's going on, what my guys are doing, what their guys are doing, kind of playing chess, really playing chess in the defensive back end. And I'll say my intelligence is a good trait that I have.
So then that sort of makes me think that you got to be a bit of film junkie then.
Yeah. Big on film. Me and Coach Hitch actually connected on our OV. I was sitting in the film room with him, and we were just going through the X's and O's and just going through football. I really enjoy that stuff. I feel like that stuff when you're actually playing football. It's easy. It's just like how you was playing football in Pop Warner, like all the film work and all the preparation that you do, just to watch and understand and really diagnose what's going on. It just helps you play faster.
So was obviously, you talked about being an intelligent player. We all know that you're a very intelligent young man. You go to an excellent high school. You're doing very well. I assume then Wisconsin's, academic prestige was one of the reasons that you were attracted to the school. What else attracted you to the school and made you decide to stay with the transition between Coach Chris, Coach Leonard, and Coach Fickle?
That's a great question. So me and my family sat down. For us, it was really the football aspect of it, but also they checked all the boxes that I had in a school that I wanted to commit to off the field. Just the education.
So what are those boxes?
The education that they provide, the environment. Madison is a very clean, safe place, and a place that I would like to live. Honestly, just making that decision, where I want to live for the next 4 to 5 years. Madison is a perfect place. It gives the city atmosphere that Chicago gives, and it reminds me a lot of back home. And then how the alumni network is here at Wisconsin is just incredible. There's a lot of alumni from Wisconsin. Actually, my Spanish teacher graduated from Wisconsin. I'm in her room right now, so it's just it's crazy just how many people know about Wisconsin, know about the tradition, the culture. and then the academic excellence that they have. Being a top 10 public university and then having a top business school and medical school is just they checked all the boxes for me when it came to the atmosphere, the culture, and just the education part of it.
That's awesome. And that was sort of the main thing that kept you on, like saying like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this, like not necessarily no matter who the coach is, but as long as I have confidence in the coach, this is the place I want to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's been that, go ahead.
And on top of that, just like what Coach Fickle has done in the past, with the coaching change, it wasn't really a big change for me because I was already familiar with the coaches. They recruited me at Cincy, so just knowing them and knowing how they coached and knowing how they did things the right way. So I was confident.
That's awesome. And so do you know what you're going to major in, or at least what you want to try first in terms of a major? Because, a lot of guys will switch majors.
Yeah, economics. That's something I want to really, put my mind into, and marketing and finance, something in the business world of it.
All right. That's really interesting because, a lot of guys go into business, but I think, there are so many things that can relate back to that. It doesn't have to necessarily be business, right? And so one of the beautiful things about going to Wisconsin, now I'm like shilling for the university, but the options are all good there. So let's talk about the group of guys that you are coming in with, because this is a unique group because of the coaching change. I'm sure, a lot of you guys have, experienced this together, which is not necessarily, a lot of times it's just, same coaching staff going in. We had James Durand on the show, and he said you are absolutely the leader in the group chat. You are the person going into that. So have you always been sort of like a vocal leader kind of guy, like on the field and off the field? Is that just sort of your personality? How did that happen?
It is kind of my personality. People just gravitate towards me because I just have the traits of a leader. Honestly, I'm not really a big vocal guy. I can be, but I've just kind of modeled myself, as, lead by example. I always want to be the example that people look to when they want a leader. I just have those traits. I'm only vocal when I absolutely need to. But I just try my best, just to lead guys and just be there for guys who need help on and off the field. Just a guy to communicate to, just a safe place.
And so what's your relationship like with the rest of the guys in the class?
My relationship is great with them. We all think the same. We all have the same mindset coming in, wanting to be the future of Wisconsin, wanted to be, the playmakers to get the place back to where it was when they were winning Big Ten championships back to back. We all have the same mindset of, just chasing greatness and, being all in and, not either all in or all out. And I think that relationship and that mindset that I have with the guys is just going to, guide us to greatness.
Absolutely. I think that's really interesting. And speaking of, you guys are all coming in together. One other question I have is how much do you guys get to know, like, sort of the guys that come in from the portal, right? Because like the portal is just a big part of college football now, for better or for worse. It is what it is. I mean, the Badgers have 12 guys coming in from the portal of various ages. Some guys, a year older than you, right? Last year's class got, 2 quarterbacks just from that class alone. But then you've got guys got like Tanner Mordecai, who's a 6-year senior. Have you gotten to know any of these portal guys yet at all?
Yeah, I have actually. So it's funny. The Cincinnati receiver Will Pauling, we grew up not too far away from each other. I've seen him multiple times. He's an absolute baller. We've trained together. We go to the same people, when we need help with academic support or just off the field stuff. So me and him are pretty cool, and I haven't met anybody else. But it's actually funny that Will is actually coming over. When I went on my visits to Cincinnati, he was one of the first guys I was looking for just to talk to and chop it up. Just back at Cincy. So yeah, I've gotten a chance to talk to him, and just social media stuff. Just following each other, just getting contact information from the transfer guys. That's really all that's happened, but I haven't really gotten a chance to have a full conversation with them except for Will.
All right. So I know I want to respect your time. Just got a couple quick questions. The Badgers, have you gotten a chance to talk with Coach Tressel at all about, or do they even know if you're going to come in on defense or on offense because of that versatility? And if you are in defense, do they know sort of where they want to put you?
Yeah, I'll be coming in on defense for sure. They see me playing nickel, slot corner, really anywhere in the defensive back end. They're just going to kind of plug and chug me and see where I make the most plays at. and where I contribute the most on the defensive back end. So that's really the plan coming in. Is just to see how fast I learn, see how fast I really get into the groove of things. But they do see me playing at a slot corner, so coming in on defense.
All right. So a couple off the field questions to end it. So what is in the off season? You've got a free Friday night, a free Saturday night. What is Justin Taylor doing on his free evening?
It depends when that Friday and Saturday is. My Friday night's usually after a game, so I'm recovering. But
yeah. So in the off season, let's say it's in the off season.
Off season, really hanging out with the guys. I'm very close to the guys I grew up with, so I'm usually hanging out with them. On Friday nights maybe, or sometimes I just stay in the house. Eat a bunch of food, play video games. Usually just lay around, just chill with the family. And play with my dog. That's it.
What's your video game of choice?
Call of Duty for sure.
Okay.
Call of Duty. I like Madden. Madden is pretty fun.
All right.
I'm not a big 2K guy. Actually, I'm not a big 2K guy. I like 2K that often, but I'll play sometimes.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at 2K. I'm absolutely awful at 2K. Okay, that's awesome. And then what do you want Badger fans to know about you, like behind the mask, like off the field? Like what do you want your legacy to be at Wisconsin, not necessarily on the field, but off the field?
I just want to be a guy that they remember as a great leader, a great role model, and obviously a great player for them. And being one of the best. I definitely want to be one of the best coming out. I'm not gonna, short myself and say that I don't want to be, the All-American guy. I don't want to come out of Wisconsin and get drafted. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I don't want that. But obviously I want to be remembered as one of those guys. But again, I want to be remembered as a great role model off the field, a great student, a respectful guy, and know how to manage his time and knows how to create relationships and bonds with people. A very personable guy, an easy guy to go talk to, not stubborn, not cocky, very humble. That's the guy I want to be remembered as.
Excellent. Well, I think that you are well on your way to that already. So we really appreciate your time. Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Taylor, _. And then you can find me on Twitter at __ Justin Taylor.
All right. Yeah, I got a double underscore in my Twitter bio too. So in my Twitter handle too. So I appreciate how hard it is to keep saying 2 underscores in the same Twitter handle. Justin, thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. We really appreciate your time. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram as well at Believe in Badgers on Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
Go.